This is quite possibly the weirdest Doctor Who story I've ever seen. Old ladies who are cannibals. Clearly J&T is not over his cannibalism fetish since the Two Doctors. Hello Whovians and welcome to my latest Doctor Who review, where today I review Paradise Towers, which is the 145th Doctor Who story, and Sylvester McCoy's second story as the 7th Doctor. Season 24 continues with Paradise Towers. Oh boy. Basic plot of this story is as follows. The Doctor and Mel decide to visit Paradise Towers, a residential complex that promises a peaceful life to its residents. However, the establishment is far from what its name suggests. A conflict persists among the Kangs, humanesque, multicolour beings who gather in opposing gangs based on which colour of the rainbow they bear. Furthermore, killer cleaning robots prowl the halls, and a secret in the complex's basement poses the greatest threat of all. Also, once again, thanks very much to Nicholas Payne for lending me his DVD so I could watch this story. Thank you. Paradise Towers, well, I think it's better than Time in the Rani. That's got to be something, right? Oh my god, Paradise Towers. This is a very disappointing Doctor Who story. I'm sorry. I just could not get into it. It's not offensively bad. It's not a total disaster, but it is a very, very bad Doctor Who story. For one thing, the whole look and feel of the story is just weird. This is one of the most strange Doctor Who stories I've seen. It's just bizarre. I mean, you've got these multicolored groups called the Kangs, and you've got these elderly ladies who are cannibals. I mean, what the fuck is going on here? This is ludicrous. It is beyond the point of sanity. So after a while, you just have to kind of roll with it and choose to accept that this is some kind of alien planet where anything's possible. But at the same time, there's no logic to it. It doesn't make any sense. That's my problem. The story is basically boring. It's just incredibly dull. It drags for all 4 parts of its runtime. And most of the time, the characters just kind of stand around and do nothing. It really just becomes bothersome. What I will say, what I do like about the story is the fact that we have Richard Bryars. Yes, Richard Bryars is a very famous actor from England. He gives a very good performance as the chief caretaker / the great architect. Until he's zombified. I mean, when he becomes zombified, he's really hamming it up. But when he's just playing the chief caretaker, he's great. And it's very nice to have him in the presence of the story, because, my god, there's got to be something good about this. As for Sylvester McCoy, well, he is a little bit better than he is in Time in the Rani. He has mellowed out, he has toned it down a bit. He's still very eccentric, but I think his persona is settling a little bit. But I still don't think he's the best Doctor ever, and the story surrounding him is just awful. I mean, it really is. You can really tell that this show is on its last legs with the look of the story. It is cheap as fuck, and I think the whole look of it is really wrong, like with the graffiti everywhere and everything. It just looks like any old back alley. I know that the Paradise Towers is meant to look run down and kind of ragged, especially after the conflict has broken out, but at the same time, it just feels weird. It feels oddly mismatched. I also think the killer cleaning robots are incredibly silly. They are just really stupid, and they move so slowly when they walk around, and the voices are just terrible. Like, when Mel is scared of them, you just laugh. You just laugh. There's even a yellow crab robot that appears in a swimming pool and tries to attack Mel. That scene had me laughing my fucking arse off. That was so funny, for the wrong reasons. So again, the silliness of the story really outweighs the seriousness, and I think once again there seems to be a tonal issue here. There seems to be a conflict of darker tones and campy tones, and the campiness far outweighs the darker stuff. It just feels really odd, to be honest. That's why I say it's one of the weirdest stories I've seen, because there's no consistent tone. And yeah, I just honestly don't know what to make of it. Bonnie Langford as Mel, well, okay, she's not too bad when she's not screaming, but when she screams, my god, it is annoying, and it does tend to go on for quite a while at points. Though I do like the relationship she has with the character of Pex. She actually is the only one who shows Pex some kindness. The character of Pex himself, played by Howard Cook, he's alright, I guess. I mean, he's meant to be this kind of macho man, but he's actually a coward deep down, and that's his kind of story arc. He emerges as a true hero, and in the end, you know, sacrifices himself. But Mel is the only one who actually believes in him. Everybody else is laughing at him, calling him a scaredy cat and a coward. And then in the end, the irony is that he actually saves their lives, and they worship him, you know, as like a deity. I think the look of the Kangs as well are really stupid. Like, I don't know, like the whole colours, I mean, it's okay, fine, you have to distinguish them somehow, but having one side blue and one side red, okay, fine, it's basic enough, but it just doesn't look right with the rest of the story. This story is just so mismatched. Everything about it really doesn't work. The colours, the lighting, the sets, it doesn't feel... It feels like loads of different elements of other stories jumbled together. And aesthetically, it is a mess. Aesthetically, it looks like somebody has splodged loads of paint colours on a piece of paper. That's what it feels like, and I'm sorry. I can only be honest. That's what it looks like to me. That might sound like an exaggeration, but it honestly isn't. Also, the old ladies. I mean, oh my god, the old ladies are so cringy. They are just terrible. I mean, this whole cannibalism thing is just ridiculous. Like I said, it goes. There's inconsistent tones with campy and dark, and this is just way too dark. I mean, remember when I said in my Two Doctors rant that story was grotesque and unpleasant because of the cannibalism? Well, they haven't learned anything, because we've got more of that in this story, and there's this really god-awful scene where they're trying to strap Mel up, and then they're going to eat her, and she's just screaming at them the whole time. I don't think they're much... I don't think they're great actresses either. I don't think they really give decent performances. And everyone comes together at the end to take on the chief caretaker, and you don't feel any sense of unity with them coming together. You just feel like, okay, so they're just suddenly deciding to join forces. Especially the old ladies, they just come in and join without any reason or hesitation. It's just weird. The pacing of this is really slow as well. All 4 parts drag. Most of the time, characters stand around and talk, and when something does happen, you just laugh at it because it doesn't look realistic enough. It looks so goddamn silly. So I don't know what else to say. I think this story is a complete mess. It's a waste of potential. It could have been so much better. They needed to sort out the tone, the script, pretty much everything. But it has Richard Briers, it has Sylvester McCoy trying his best. And actually the supporting cast, they give decent performances, but at the end of the day, it's just really not very good. I will say, I do quite like Pex's sacrifice. I thought that was well done. You know, that was a nice emotional ending. But I never cared about the character much up to that point. I couldn't understand why he was a coward. It didn't seem right to me. That didn't fit, to be honest. So to finish up, I'm going to score Paradise Towers 3 out of 10. I forgot to mention also the music score is awful for the story. The music score is just terrible. And the script actually was written by Stephen Wyatt. Not good enough. It was directed by Nicholas Mallet, and yeah, it's very poorly directed as well. That's definitely something to be said. Next time we come to Delta and the Bannerman. Oh god. This story is not very popular. It's very well known, but it's not very popular. But it's only 3 episodes long, so let's hope it's not too bad. Anyway, thank you very much all for watching this review, and stay tuned for my review of Delta and the Bannerman. Until next time, I'm Mr. TARDIS11. See you soon. Bye for now.